Hey everybody, this is Starjump Graham. Let me know if you can hear me okay in chat. I see some usuals in there. Let me know if I'm 5x5. Ender, do an audio check for me there, bud.
Check one, check two, check 1, 2, 3, check one, check two, check 1, 2, 3.
Chat, how do we sound? Hopefully good. Let me know. I'm seeing 07s and yes sirs. I'm hoping that means we're 5x5. VG coming in with that first 5x5. All right. Everybody give us just 1 second and we will be live. We'll get started. All right. Hey, everybody. We are hopefully live, hopefully coming in loud and clear. Hey, everyone in chat. We are live on YouTube right now, as well as Twitch. Nice to see you all. It is what day is it? It's Thursday. Um, we don't usually do the Thursday night streams, but this is kind of a special one. For those of you curious what tonight is going to be all about, we're about to run through all of that with you all. But first, before we get too far, I want to do a hello and greetings to my fellow host for the night, but not really even just the fellow host, but I would actually say more the guest tonight. You're going to be the guest tonight, Ender. Um, how are you, man? How's
I'm on a
how's
weird
the week
side of the
been?
fence.
How's the week been for you?
It's been a good week.
Yep.
We've work's been weird but good.
Yep.
But yeah, it's been a good week.
Very good, very good. Well, we got a lot to get through on this episode, and I can tell everyone right now in chat it's going to be a little bit different than how we usually do things. Okay, so this is Starjump Guardians. We have never done a Starjump Guardian show before. We've done Starjump Guardians adjacent things like fleet builders and stuff, but this episode is really meant to kind of sit apart to some degree from our usual Starjump content and be something where um, we can focus on the charity endeavors that we've been doing. I know most of you in chat have been very active with the St. Jude Play Live stuff we've been doing. So it's to focus on that, hear about the St. Jude Play Live Creator Summit that Ender went to last week. So we're going to get the full breakdown of that. We are going to talk a little bit about a few games. There was a big game release this week, and there's some stuff coming up with Star Citizen as well. We're going to talk about that. But again, it's going to be a little bit of everything. But first and foremost, before we go into any sort of main topic stuff, let's talk about St. Jude Play Live. Okay, we've been talking about it now for the past 24 days. We are in the April 24th right now, and you can see right above me there, right above my finger, we have raised $8,827 already. We are getting so close to hitting the $10,000 mark in our first month, and we still have another month to go. Yeah. And that is all from you in chat. So, chat, like I always say, first things first, give yourselves an 07, give yourselves a round of applause for all that you have done through your generosity, through your raffle donations, all that kind of stuff. Do not be shy if you're in chat. Pump those 07s in there and consider those for you, not us. Obviously, we're facilitating things through streaming and posts and content and videos. But ultimately, this is all being made capable or made possible, excuse me, by your donations. So really appreciate that. One thing I'm going to do real quick too is tell you how to donate. Now, usually I pin the donate link into YouTube, but I'm going to be pinning something else up there in just a minute. But for those of you on YouTube, there is the Tiltify link there. You can go there to download or go there to donate, excuse me. The people,
Download the donate link.
those of you on Twitch, I'm doing the Stream Elements donate bot right there. It is. There's the Tiltify link for you. You can also scan the QR code on the screen. That'll take you to our page. We have a couple things going on right now related to that. Yep. Let me switch over here. We have two raffles going on right now that you can get in on by donating. I do have this wrong right here. Sorry, it's not a $10 donation. I need to fix that. I knew I'd screw something up this episode. But for a $15 St. Jude donation through our Guardians or through our Tiltify link, you can get a Misc Fortune with LTI raffle ticket. We'll be doing that giveaway on the 26th with it, which is Saturday, right? Saturday. And I believe you're streaming Saturday, Ender?
Saturday.
Is that right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
I can't remember
well,
what the
actually,
schedule
I was going to see if you were going to join us Saturday for some repo.
Very possible I can. Very, very possible I can. We could probably make that happen. But anyways, everyone, that Misc Fortune with LTI donated by our good friend GearCon will be given away on that stream, I imagine, Ender, or probably at the end of it. That is a $15 donation to get that ticket, by the way, everyone. I know I have $10 there. Sorry about that. That's my mistake. And then on April 30th, coming up very soon, we don't exactly know which show and which piece of content we're doing this for. Maybe it'll, it may be a Fleet Builder. I was honestly thinking it deserves a Fleet Builder show, but we'll talk about that.
We can do that.
RSI Polaris Corvette with LTI, also donated by our good friend GearCon. That is a $100 donation to St. Jude through our Tiltify link. Gets you a ticket for that raffle. This is the big bad ship in the verse right now, everyone. So make sure if getting the RSI Polaris capital ship is something you've been wanting, this is your chance to do it. $100 donation to St. Jude for kids. Again, that is 100% pass through. It does not come to Starjump whatsoever. That is going straight to St. Jude. Straight to St. Jude.
We don't touch.
We don't touch
directly to St. Jude.
Yeah,
and we prefer it that way.
Yeah. Mootkins, I'm glad you asked, Mootkins, because that is the perfect timing. We are giving several things away coming up in May. I don't have the actual breakdown schedule of the dates, but, well, actually I might, but I'll bring that up in a little bit, Mootkins. But here are some of the other. During the month of May, we'll be giving away an Anvil Carrack with LTI. We'll be giving away a second RSI Polaris Corvette. We'll be giving away a Gladius Valiant. We'll be giving away an Anvil Hurricane, an Anvil Hawk. I believe a starter pack. Do we still have a starter pack up in there? I can't remember if we do.
We do. We have the
is it Nomad? Nomad one maybe?
Yep, the Nomad starter pack.
Yep, and then we will be giving away an Anvil F7 CM Super Hornet. So still a lot of giveaways. We still have several. I think we have 5 Starjump Challenge coins to give away through the month of May, so pretty much one every week for sure. And we'll probably have an additional 3 liveries to give away. Eagle0013 donating $15 towards a Misc Fortune. Thank you very much, Eagle. Got the old salute there. Thank you very much. So yes, a lot of giveaways coming in May. And we have a lot of things planned for May. I mean, May is kind of the main month, and we're going to dig in deep with that one, so expect a lot of content. So a lot of stuff coming up. We really appreciate it. Tonight, let's go ahead and get to... Actually, you know what? We kind of went through the St. Jude stuff. You know how to donate to it. I just want to point out down there in the lower right of the screen, you'll see the lifetime raise there. Big shout out to Ender. We're going to spotlight him a little better here in just a minute, but $25,285. Ender, this is over the last 3 years, right? Is it 3 years?
3 and like a literal 2 days of a fourth.
Okay. So
I think we raised about $100 that couple of days into the 4th year.
Yeah. Well, we're on a great track this year, and that number is just going to keep going up. So exciting to see. Everybody. One thing I wanted to bring up here, let me do it real quick. We have 2 giveaways tonight. 2 giveaways. I think you're going to like. It's the same giveaway, but we're giving away 2 of them. And what is that going to be? That is going to be, we are giving away a custom livery and Starjump Fleet Viewer. If you ever go to starjumpfleetviewer.com and enjoy doing ships, you will notice that there are ships on there. When you uncheck the official tab, you will notice there are ships there that are fan ships, ships that we've given away liveries for at events like Equinox or to other people, in either memorandum or a memoriam, sorry, or in other situations. We've given away custom liveries. So this is one of those situations here where we have 2 custom liveries we're going to do. You get to pick the primary color, the secondary color. You get to pick the ship. You get to put the logos on the ship, and you get to name the ship, and we will put it into Starjump Fleet Viewer. So how do you do that? Well, we have 2 that we're giving away. Okay, the first one we're giving away via YouTube. Okay, and how you enter that is you will go to the link that is pinned to the top of the YouTube chat. I just pinned it. You will go to that link and you will leave a comment on that video. Okay, and about halfway through this show, we're going to pull that comment. Okay, and when I pull that comment, the winner of that wins a custom livery and fleet viewer. At that point, we're on Twitch. We're going to start the next one, and actually, you know what? We're gonna do it a little differently, and we're gonna get a little crazy here. Do you mind if we get a little crazy?
Let's go nuts.
I think we need to get a little crazy. We're gonna go a little crazy here, everyone. Sorry, bear with me because I wasn't quite prepared for this. But sometimes I do things off the cuff, really, without properly thinking it through. I probably should more often, but I'm gonna actually start a Stream Elements giveaway now for a custom livery as well, and then we're also going to do a third livery giveaway via Stream Racers in a little bit. So yeah, we're gonna do this. We're gonna do this the right way. We're gonna do this the right way. So if you're ever on Twitch, we just started that right now. You can do !ticket or !ticket space max to get tickets for the custom Fleet Viewer livery. Okay, so we're giving away 3 of those tonight. Okay,
you're going
pretty
crazy,
excited. Going crazy, going a little bit crazy. Here we go.
Grim.
Yes.
Quantum.
What
is it?
Oh, right. Yeah. We should probably talk a brief bit about quantum. Let's go ahead and let me bring that up real quick and switch over to that screen. Thank you for reminding me. I know my good friends over there at the quantum group will be happy this was talked about. Bear with me here. I got to figure out. You know what the problem is? I have too many things up. I can tell
too much happening at one time.
Thank you very much. Here it is, Quantum Vegas. This is a new Star Citizen focused event happening in Las Vegas on July 12th. Dear God, April. Scary. Saturday, July 12th. So it's 78 days away. It's going to be happening at Area 15. Really, really cool event. And there's going to be a lot of people you probably know there. They are selling tickets right now. You can get tickets for the discounted price here on the website. We'll post the website address here in just a minute. But a good cast of people will be there acting as moderators and panel guests and stuff like that. So we have DePoets, who will be one of the guest hosts. We have Nate Ellis and Kim Ellis, who are actually going to be guests on a upcoming Starjump station. They do all the great machinima at EE Studios. I've been talking with Nate. I've actually wanted to have him on Starjump Station for years, actually, and just been lazy. So we're going to get them on there. That's totally my fault they haven't been on there to this point, but he's excited to do that. We have Sean Tracy from CIG, Senior Director of Tools and Tech Content, who will be there doing a panel. Serious Fun is our moderator. We have both Tyler Whitkin, otherwise known as Xylo, and Galactica, who will be from CIG, will be there as guests as well. Griffin Gaming RPG will be a moderator there. Great to see him. Last time I saw him was at Equinox, and it was great seeing him in person. Gave him a Starjump challenge going. We have Paul Shelley, the Astro historian himself, will be there doing a panel, I believe, on story. And then yours truly, Starjump Grim, I'll be doing a panel on spaceships and specifically concept ships and stuff like that, centered around a few ships within the Shipyard series I've done before. So yeah, again, it's going to be a really cool event. Got some great sponsors here. Cloud Imperium, Elgato, Icon City. Starjump's a sponsor. We have a whole host of people. Atmo Esports again, Monster Tech, Thrustmaster, all that kind of good stuff. There's going to be probably some surprise stuff happening there as well. And I've heard that things with that are going on in Vegas right now are actually some good deals for hotels and flights and stuff out there, because Vegas is kind of having a little bit of a down cycle right now. So it's actually kind of maybe a good time to go there and do an event, because you could probably go for a little less than what it would normally cost. But We're going to work out something with Patreon so we can get Ender there as well, hopefully. And you will have both me and Ender there from Starjump. You'll get to hang out with us, make fun of us, and
Oh, for
question our
sure. All the making
yeah,
fun of us.
and you'll be able to question our legitimacy at the event in person. Doesn't get
Lots
any
of
better than that.
it.
Doesn't get any better than that. By the way, everyone, if you want the web address to that to go buy your tickets, those tickets will go up in cost, by the way, pretty soon. So you're going to want to
Mhm.
get in on that. But there is the link. Just posted that into chat. All right. Let me.
So
Sorry,
excited.
go.
So
Yep.
excited.
Yep. Yeah, it's going to be a really cool event. We're excited. Again, we're going to be doing some more promotional stuff around it. I'm going to have EE Studios on a Starjump station to talk about machinima and stuff, which me and Ender both have an interest in machinima, so I think that's going to be a great show.
Big,
Um,
big interest. Yeah.
yes. Um, before we're still kind of a few more little things to talk about here before we get
Yeah.
into it, though. The last one, actually, the last one, this may be the last one because we did the giveaway announcements. Um,
Mhm.
let's shout out Tiltify. Over on Twitch, we have been making posts surrounding our, the Guardians Initiative, Ender's work in that over the many years, and obviously I'm helping out this year, and we've been posting of this, trying to get that traction online, get as many eyes to it to raise money for these sick kids and their families, and I just want to shout out, both St. Jude, obviously, but Tiltify. Tiltify has
Yeah.
been not only liking and retweeting our posts, but actually made a unique post on their Twitter, and I think they have like 50,000 followers or whatever, but made a unique post on their Twitter that blasted out. And I'm not sure if anyone from Tiltify is watching tonight, but big shout out to you. Thank you for your support and helping us support this endeavor. And Ender, I don't know if you want to say anything about it, but I know it would be hard to do this without Tiltify.
Absolutely. I just want to say thanks to Izzy. She was at the summit. There were a few at the summit, but Izzy spent a lot of time hanging out with, um, the content creators and just talking to us, getting ideas from us. The Tiltify team in general gets a lot of ideas from us. Just takes them and runs with them. But they care, and not just about the huge streamers, but about the
Mm-hmm.
little guys too. They retweet everyone's stuff.
Yeah.
We have a member of the Pink Cat Squad who is close to her $7,500 goal, and they retweeted hers and tweeted that out and shouted it out and said, "Hey, let's get it going."
Yeah.
Um, so they care, and they show that they care, and I really like that about Tiltify quite a bit.
Yeah.
It's really exciting to see stuff like that, and I like
Yes.
that they get involved.
I agree. Again, it's not big or small. They really people helping other trying to help charity endeavors and stuff. They really get behind. So it's awesome to see. And again, big shout out to everyone in chat for hanging out tonight and just watching these streams. Again, it does bring attention to them and helps us get the traction we need to try to raise as much money as we can. So big thanks to all of you. I see a lot of good friends here in chat. Everyone from Fastcart, a whole bunch of usuals that are in our chats. Bingo, Mootkins, Fastcart, Citizen Ninja. We got so many people in here. I can't list you all, obviously. I should come up with something where I can highlight people a little
New
better. But
Soul,
yeah,
so New
VG, New
Soul,
Souls,
VG,
Kavotha,
Kavotha,
obviously, Eagle, just so many people. So many of you have
Shimpasta.
Shimpasta. So many of you have donated. And I want to just point out we are at $8,842. We are so close to that $9,000 mark, everyone. So again, big shout out to you all. But I think it's time to sort of get into the content of this show, and you see it up here. It is our Play Live campaign, and we are going to talk a little bit about. We're going to go back to this in just a minute, but first and foremost, I want to talk about. We're going to switch over here screens. Bear with me, everybody. We're going to interview Mr. Starjump Ender here. That's what we're going to do. We're switching to do something we don't do very often, which is interview one of our own. And, it's kind of important to realize because I would say the number one thing that that we when can we expect hairless star jumps is what Execute just said. Pretty soon, based off how people are donating. Execute, nice to
I
see,
know, right?
nice to see you, buddy. Everyone, give Execute the info runner himself a salute in chat. But but we don't turn the spotlight back on ourselves very often, but there's a lot of confusion, and there always has been about what Starjump is, who is Starjump, what we do, who does what, all that. I want to break it down to everyone, and then I want to bring it over to Ender. Starjump is a collective. Okay, it started off me and Ender. And then
Hmm.
we added Starlet, we added VMXCO, people that wanted to do something unique for the community. Hey, Griffin Gaming, hope you're well. Just went over Quantum. You missed that, but just went over Quantum. Everyone, give Griffin Gaming from the Soul Citizens a salute in chat. Nice to see you. Maybe we can do a shout out. But Starjump is a collective group. It is for people that want to do creative, unique stuff for the Star Citizen community and essentially just the Starjump community, right? Obviously, there's myself. I've had my hands in a couple pies. I've done content related shows such as Starjump Shipyard, Starjump Station, stuff
Hmm.
like that. Obviously, I had a big hand in Starjump Fleet Viewer, kind of like concepted the original concept and helped develop it, and then other things as well. There's Starjump Ender, who oversees our community presence, so Discord moderates everything, and I don't mean just moderate, keeps us safe, keeps our community safe from hackers and all that kind of stuff. Really kind of keeps us on lockdown. We have, and then also Ender, what we're talking about tonight, obviously oversees our charity initiative. He really is the beacon that kind of guides us through that every year, and he's been doing it for a long time. In addition, Ender is a voice and co-host on all of our content shows. So again, integral part of Starjump. We have VMXCO, who's kind of helps us out on some things, does a lot of stuff for Starjump Fleet Viewer, will sometimes come on a show and give, add a voice to things, so we appreciate him. Obviously, he's heavily involved in JRDF and other projects. And then, of course, Starjump Starlet, or just Starlet, who was a critical part of Starjump Fleet Viewer. It wouldn't have been possible without her. And
Yep.
then acts as sometimes a gut check for me on things and for other people at Starship if I'm getting a little too overzealous. So, hey, Kai, I hope you're well. So, where I'm going with this is Starjump is a collective. And within Starjump, we have these little groups made up of different people that solve different problems and are and deal with certain things. Okay. So, if you've ever been curious what Starjump is, that's what it is. But let's turn the focus back to Starjump Ender real quick. Who is Starjump Ender? And I am going to let Ender talk a lot here, I promise, but I specifically wanted to talk about this one for a minute. Who is Starjump Ender? Well, Ender is obviously a best friend of mine. He's we've been playing games since I don't know the exact year we started. Is it 2020 or 2002 maybe? Something like that.
2002 on the dot is when I
Yeah.
graduated high school. I met
Yeah.
you 6 months after I graduated high school.
Yeah. Yeah, it was yeah, it was definitely back in those days. We met playing a game that some of you may know. We met online. We did not know each other. We met via Xbox Live playing a game called Ghost Recon Summit Strike. And we quickly learned that we were the smartest people in the room. Let's just put it that way. We realized that Von Cody says, I heard Starjump Ender once chopped down 12 trees with a single swing of his axe. I agree, Von
That
Cody. I've
is.
heard the same. But we met playing Starjump, or sorry, we met playing Ghost Recon Summit Strike. And it was kind of funny. We obviously connected, and then I think we friended each other, and I don't
Yep.
know about you, but I was kind of like, oh well, maybe I'll play a game with this dude in the future. But we just kind of kept syncing up, and we were playing a lot more
Yep.
games. We eventually went on to form, for all intents and purposes, a Ghost Recon team,
Yeah.
PvP team. So for all those people out there that think, me and Ender don't like PvP, we once were a damn near professional level PvP team in Ghost Recon, to the point where we did battle a gaming group, and I believe we beat them, right? Like a professional
We
gaming team, we
we
beat their
yes,
ass.
we did. And they were using us as practice fodder, they
Yeah,
thought.
and we
and
waxed them. It was bad.
we whacked them,
Yeah.
and they were like, "We need to go back to the drawing board." And we were like,
Shout out, yeah.
"Sorry, guys."
Shout out to our good friend Snow Fox if he's still out there. Who was our
He's
but
got to be out there somewhere.
yeah, but
God.
met in that game, and that eventually turned into mini games. Everything from World of
Yeah.
Warcraft to games like Oblivion and Elder Scrolls and Grand Theft
Over G
Auto,
Fighter.
Overg Fighters, Chrome Hounds,
Mm.
and in our friendship was sort of built around the games we were playing in a big way. We started doing podcasts together. We started doing content together. We had lore shows on World of Warcraft. We had we were really big into Arma 3, still love Arma 3. We had
Mhm.
a long running podcast for Arma 3 that was probably it was the biggest podcast for Arma 3 community,
Yep.
big enough where we had the developers on multiple times and stuff like that. So so the stuff we do in the Star Citizen verse is not our first time, doing stuff within a game. Now I do think Star Citizen is probably going to be a forever game. We might take
Yeah.
vacations and other stuff, but again, a long history there of establishment. And when it came time to move over to Star Citizen, we knew we wanted to start something, and Starjump sort of became that thing. And we wanted a name that would be generic enough that it would apply to multiple things. It could apply to content creation, it could apply to charity endeavors, it could be the in-game org, like
Yep.
role-playing org. It could solve all those problems, and that is exactly what it is. Um, and Ender's role in this group is that of the taskmaster to some degree, which every group needs. You need that person to sort of keep the drawbridge closed when ne'er do wells are trying to storm the castle, but also to keep things in check and do some of the unpleasant work that has to be done. But Ender is also the person on the flip side of that, the person with the heavy hand. He's also the person that spearheads our charity endeavors and all that type of stuff. Okay, which is absolutely critical to Starjump's ultimate mission. So Ender, did I summarize you properly? Do you want to tell people a little
I,
bit about your history? You're obviously a veteran.
I am a veteran. In between World of Warcraft and I want to say over G Fighter,
Yep,
maybe. I Rainbow Six Vegas 2 for sure.
it's
I
another big
joined the
one.
military, um, and spent some time in the Navy. Uh, did 2 years ceremonial guard, so I did funerals for the Navy in Washington D.C.
Mm-hmm.
Did quite a few of those, and then left the Navy. Did air traffic control, and then left the Navy in 2014,
Mm-hmm.
and have been out of the Navy since, and kind of putzing around, figuring out what I'm going to do in my life ever since. Kind
Yeah,
of think I figured it out, but that's now I'm 40, trying to get into that, and so
yeah. Um, and obviously, I think you've really found your sort of niche when it comes to the charity endeavors. Not in terms of just like it's something you enjoy to do, but I think it's something you're good at. And again, it's something that I think has been year over year getting more and more successful. So big shout out to you for that. But let's go ahead and talk about and this is kind of part of the same topic, but I know a lot of people have expressed some level of confusion sometimes when it comes to Starjump in regards to what is Starjump Guardians? Is that Starjump as well? What is the Pink Hat Squad? All these things. So we're going to start to break that down a little bit. Let's talk about Starjump Guardians. What is Starjump Guardians? Can you define that for us?
yeah. So Starjump Guardians is the charity wing of Starjump. It's
Mm-hmm.
it's where we do our charitable endeavors.
Mm-hmm.
Um, it was born of an idea that came well before Starjump. Um, I was we were doing a lot of content creation,
We were.
but I wanted to do something more, if that makes sense. I had started watching Critical Role,
Mm-hmm.
and they had done a lot of charity stuff. And something in that, the way they did the charity events and their charities
Mm-hmm.
struck a chord with me. And the group themselves and the way they were struck a chord with me.
Yeah.
And it made me want to do more.
Yeah.
I didn't know what that meant at the time. Geesley, we need to talk. I didn't know what that meant at the time, but I knew that I wanted to do that.
Yeah.
So I kind of started doing it on a small scale. It was between us doing Armanet,
Mm-hmm.
and us starting Starjump.
Yeah, Armanet being our podcast. If any of you Arma
Yep.
fans out there ever heard of Armanet podcast, that was us. We went under different
I
names
did.
though. We had different names. We were not Ender and
Yeah,
Grimm.
we were not. We were very different names. If you
Yeah.
can name those names, I will.
If
I
you can
will.
name our names in Arma 3 that we are known by in that community, you'll get a challenge coin for sure.
Yeah, you know
For
what?
sure.
Yeah, I'll put in for that challenge coin.
If anyone could
Um,
figure out what our names were. Yeah.
and then no, it was not Smokey
Smokey
the
the Bandit. Who would be Smokey and who'd be the bandit? That's the real question.
I'm curious about that.
Yeah.
I started with Dungeons and Dragons, Eskimonian, literally on brand
On
here.
point. Yeah.
I started with Dungeons and Dragons, and we were raising money for Extra Life, which is, you're raising money for hospitals, local hospitals. My partner at the time that I was doing that with, playing D&D with, because my best friend doesn't play D&D. By the way, if we hit $9,000, my best friend will have to play D&D. I just want to point that out to everyone. He will not have a choice. So we're real close up there, 8842.
Yeah.
And I'll have to do something really disgusting.
Yeah.
So we were playing D&D every week for Extra Life and for other various charities, but it wasn't focused. And I didn't have a focus. And that kind of, it didn't fall to the wayside so much. I still had that focus, as you very well know.
Yep.
But it did fall to the wayside a little bit. I let it simmer. I still did charitable stuff, but I didn't bring it back up.
Yeah.
And then in 2020, I had a pretty big scare. I started, this is going to get pretty blunt. Sorry, guys. I started peeing blood, and went to the hospital, went to the doctor, and they told me it was just my medication. It was nothing. So I moved to Pennsylvania, like it was nothing. And then it happened again a few months later. And my doctor there was like, yeah, it's not your medicine. You need to go get this checked. So I went and got checked more deeply and found out that I had a tumor on my bladder. And they got that checked out. They burned it off. And I found out that I had bladder cancer. And that was a pretty big wake up call for me.
Yeah.
I was not quite 40. I was young for having bladder cancer. Even my urologist was like, "Hey, man, you're young. Did you used to smoke?" And I was like, "Yeah, I was a pack-a-day smoker." And that kind of brought back up the idea of Guardians for me again.
Yeah.
And I even mentioned it to Grimm shortly after that. And that was the first year that I had considered doing something charity related. And I think 2020, 2022 was the first year that I actually um, did the charity fundraising. 2021 was the first year I got to do it.
Yeah, the
So
seeds
20.
the seeds planted even before that, because I know
Mhm.
because I can even find Twitter posts for the Phase Line initiative, which was sort of the precursor,
Yep.
all the way back to 2020. So yeah,
Yep.
yeah.
2020 was the phase line initiative that I had initially started. My partner had some stuff had fallen through with that, and that ended up not becoming uh,
Yeah.
a thing. Um, and I talked to Graham and I said, I really want this charity event thing to be a thing. I
Mm-hmm.
want to do charity, but I want to do it more focused. And he said, okay. And I was online one day. Um, I was watching a streamer. I was up one night, and I was watching a streamer. Miss Ash Rocks is her name. I've rated her a couple of times. And she was raising money for St. Jude. This was 2021, and it was the first year that I actually raised money for St. Jude.
Mm-hmm.
And she was raising money for St. Jude, and she played a video, and it like struck a chord with me. It's kind of checked all the boxes for me.
Mm-hmm.
I have kids. I had cancer. Danny Thomas is this dude who literally wants to just get rid of cancer. His entire goal, he was an actor, by the way. I don't know if you know this about Danny Thomas. He used to be an actor
Thank
back
you,
in the
Ramper.
50s
Mm-hmm.
and 60s. Thank you, Rampart. Um, he his whole goal was, I want to make money, and then I want to build a children's hospital that anyone can go to, regardless of their race, regardless of their ethnicity, and
Mm-hmm.
regardless of their social status. I want them to be able to go to there and get help. And
Yeah.
he built it in Tennessee in the 60s, in the middle of a time when, you know, an African American couldn't get help in a white person's hospital. And he literally said, I don't care who they are, let them in my hospital.
Right.
It was unheard of. And that struck a chord with me too. So I was like, I got to raise some money for this. I
Mm-hmm.
started immediately. I mean, we raised like $200, $300. I can't even remember, but it wasn't a ton, but it was a help for the cause, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And that's when I reached out to you and I said, Graham, I want to do this Guardian thing and I want to do it for St. Jude.
Yeah.
And you were like, I'm in.
Yeah. So you kind of talked a little bit there how you found St. Jude, and I think that's
Yep.
real important. You've been doing St. Jude for a while now. Last few years, obviously, each year I think getting better and better, be just more traction, more attention, and that kind of coincides, I think, with our Starjump community growing as well, which is only
Mm-hmm.
natural. There's been ups and downs. I think it was last year's Play Live. You were like literally looking for a new job or moving or something. So it's
Mm-hmm.
always something. But through
Yep.
the St. Jude initiative, or sorry, through St. Jude Play Live, through your Starjump Guardians stuff that you've been doing, you found people that you connect with, that through the summits and what have you. You found people that you connect with on this, that share the same values, share the same goals, and that group has its kind of its own moniker now. Maybe you could tell us a little bit
Yep.
about. And actually, I'm going to bring it up here so it works. Bear with me, but maybe you can tell us a little bit about the Pink Hat Squad.
So the Pink Cat Squad. Yeah. My first year at the summit was nerve wracking.
Mm-hmm.
Um, uh, I wasn't sure what to deal with, what the deal was. You
Mm-hmm.
know, did I belong here? Imposter syndrome is real when you go to a summit with, especially that specific summit. That specific summit was a strange one already because um, they did something weird last year
Mm-hmm.
as compared to this year. They did not just Twitch streamers, but they also had like Instagram supermodels and Instagram comedians
Yeah,
and
I was definitely there.
photographers.
Yeah, yeah,
And
yeah.
it was a strange one. Um, so in the face of that, you're like, what am I doing here?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And uh, Death, who in this picture is literally right next to me. I've got my arm on his shoulder.
Yep. Right
Um,
here. There's
and I
Ender.
um, kind of Death kind of talked me into going to not Gander Mountain, I almost said Gander Mountain. Bass Pro Shop. There's this big Bass Pro Shop
Mm-hmm.
at just outside of the St. Jude area.
Yep.
And he was like, "Hey, there's a group of us going." And I was like, "Yeah, maybe." And we had a lot of time on our hands, and I wasn't sure if I would go. And
Mm-hmm.
at the last second, I was like, "You know what? Screw it, let's go."
Right.
That's actually the perfect picture.
Mm-hmm.
So I went, and we all are going. We've talked on the bus. I'm getting a little bit out of my shell talking to these guys, getting to know them. Me and Death are laughing with each other. And we get to the Bass Pro Shop and we see one of these bins that he's standing next to. And it is full of hats, but most of them are pink. Now, these hats are like $5.99 at pop. So they're super cheap trucker hats, the exact one I'm wearing, by the way. And all of the ones that are left, most of them are pink. And all of us decide we're going to just buy pink hats
Mm-hmm.
because that's all that's left. And we're just going to be smart, Alex, and buy the pink hat one. We're like, we've got to get the pink ones. Nobody else wants them. We're going to get them.
Mm-hmm.
We're all small streamers who feel like we don't belong here. And let's do this, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So we grab pink hats. We wear them back to the hotel. We wear them for most of the weekend, and it's just a big joke. Most of us keep in touch. We finish out the summit. We have a blast, but most of us keep in touch and rate each other and kind of hang out and talk and laugh. And then this year, just before the summit, Death goes, I'm thinking about making a team. And I was like, I was hoping you would because
Mm-hmm.
we all still wear our hats while we're streaming. We all put them on. So it only makes sense that we're still the Pink Hat Squad because we're still the Pink Hat Squad. We still wear our hats. So he created a team, and instead of joining somebody else's team, we all just kind of banded back together, teamed back
Mm-hmm.
up, and that's where it came from. We all went to this stupid Bass Pro Shop and bought these idiot hats and as a joke, and it ended up being kind of our moniker. And it's doubly funny because technically St. Jude can't ever look at us and say, "Hey, Pink Hat Squad, we're going to make a hat or a emote or do anything to acknowledge us as a team other than have us on that monitor right there."
Mm-hmm.
Because pink is off limits for St. Jude as a color
Mm-hmm.
because of Susan G. Como or whatever. So they literally can't acknowledge us. They can't put it on anything. We're the only ones that are allowed to do it. So we're a gray area for St. Jude.
You can always rebrand as just PHS though, which is good. You can always just go as PHS. You could just acronym it or something.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So we literally just like this year we all wore our hats, and a lot of the St. Jude people were approaching us and going, "What's up with the hats?" And we
Mm-hmm.
got to tell the story quite a few times, and they were like, "I love this.
Mm-hmm.
This is awesome." And it was kind of refreshing to have those moments where people from St. Jude were coming up and going,
Yeah.
what's going on here? You guys
Yep.
are all wearing this hat. Did you guys just go down there? And we were like, no, we've had these for over a year now.
Mm-hmm.
And they're like, all right, I got to hear this, you know, or they would go, you know, Jason would be on stage talking and you'd be like, or you got the PCAP crew down over here. And all of us are just in a corner and everybody's noticing that we're down there. And it's,
Yep.
you know, the year before we were all the quiet ones kind of hiding in our corners, not talking to anybody. So it was a refreshing thing for us.
Yeah. And hold on one second. Everyone, do not forget
Yeah,
we're giving away two custom Fleet Viewer liveries that you can spawn in StarjumpFleetViewer.com. If you are on Twitch and want to get in on that, you just do !ticket or !ticket space max, and you can get your tickets for that. If you're on YouTube, you just need to go to the link pinned to the top of chat. You go to that link. You leave a comment on that video. It's a Starjump video related to St. Jude. You leave a comment there. You say hi, goodbye, hello, whatever. Keep it positive, please. But leave a comment there, and we'll draw a winner from both of those. And that person will win a custom livery in Starjump Fleet Viewer. You get to choose the primary, secondary color. You get to choose the ship. You can name the ship. You can put your personal logo on it, your org logo. Does have to be work safe, by the way. But that will then get integrated in the Fleet Viewer where you can actually spawn it when you do your fleets and stuff. So just a heads up on that. All right. So Pink Out Squad, do you want to shout out any specific members there? We have the picture up right now with you all standing around the screen there showing the total. Now, individual people within Pink Out Squad obviously have their own solo money raising efforts they're doing. But this number here that we're seeing on screen, this is for the Pink Cat Squad specifically. Can you talk a little bit about that? And by the way, everyone, thank you, Eagle0013 for the donation. Not everybody. We're at $8,842. The closer we get to $9,000, the happier this stream gets. So if you want to donate, please go to the Tiltify links. Really appreciate that. If you're on YouTube, I'm going to throw the Tiltify link in there for you now that you can go to directly. If you're on Twitch, Ender can do the exclamation donate thing to get that Tiltify link to pop up, or you can scan the QR code. Thank you very much for that. I got some good raffles, people. We got the Fortune we're giving away in 2 days on Saturday, and the RSI Polaris that's given away in 6 days, so you don't want to miss out. All right. Ender, tell us a little bit about the people within Pink Cat Squad. Give them some shout outs.
The groups that you got there are the original group. Now, there's a lot more that got added this year, which is, I got to be honest with you,
You're
little
franchising
to see us grow. But the ones that you have there are, I'm going to go from left to right. So from the guy in black on the left side there, the black shirt. So you have Polo. Oh God, I'm going to get this wrong, aren't I? Hold on. I have to do this a weird way because his name is so weird. Twitch.tv/Polo. Yeah, really? You're gonna make me just look him up. Okay, that's fine. We're just gonna look him up. Hold on, everyone. I'm sorry. His name is just so weird. It's Polo. So Polo, because that's Poyo. I'll tell that story in a second. Polo actually is a Star Citizen player.
Mm-hmm.
And I took I don't have them near me. I took the stickers that you made last year, Grim,
Yep.
to the summit with me. And the way I handed them out was it's my favorite way to hand out the stickers. I said, here's my stupid face. Which I think really sums up who I am as a person most of the time, because I'm pretty self-deprecating. Where are you, Polo? Come on, Poyo. I'm pretty self-deprecating, if you guys haven't noticed. So I thought it was kind of a perfect way to hand out the stuff and get a laugh while also handing out, the stickers.
Yep.
And I handed a sticker to him, and he looked at me for half a second and went, "Are you serious?" And just kind of stared at me, and I was like, I mean, I'm
Ruin
sorry,
Star
Jude.
Shifter donated $15 towards the fortune. Thank
Oh,
you very much, Ruin.
you.
Appreciate you. That money rolling in, getting us closer to 9K. Thank you very much, Ruin.
There he is. Polo Nayuma. I can't. I'm not even.
Well, you still got a lot of people to
Polonium.
get through.
That's
So
it. Yes, I do.
yeah.
Anyway, so he recognized me and he recognized you in Starstruck, and it was the first time it had ever happened. It was crazy.
Cool.
The next girl is Becca. She is a pretty good crafter. She knits, and it's awesome.
Very cool.
Death and Rebirth is our leader, even though he doesn't like to say it.
Mm-hmm.
Adge is the guy leaning his head up against everything.
Mm-hmm.
The idiot that's beside Adge, you don't need to worry about him. Nyquist is such a good dude. And Gand the Impaler,
Mm-hmm.
is a Canadian that's just a weirdo. That's the original group, and this guy actually. He's not pictured is Dam 314.
Mm-hmm. And you can see on some of the pictures I'm pulling up here now, people, just some of the individual money raised by some of those people. So Adge there with $52,000, amazing. And these numbers, by the way, have
awesome.
changed by now. They've already almost all these people have raised.
Adge has not. Adge will not raise money during Play Live. He only does it in October because he doesn't. He's a scaredy cat. So what he does is he only raises money during October during a 12-hour scary stream. So he will scare the crap out of himself for 12 hours, and it's insane.
Yeah. Well, very cool. It looks like he's been successful
Becca,
with it.
He has been very successful. Becca has crossed her $20,000 mark. Very proud of her. She's super excited about that. Adge actually has a tattoo of the St. Jude logo on his leg with two hearts.
Nice. Oh, cool. There's this guy.
Yeah, there's this idiot.
Very handsome, by the way.
Debatable.
Very
super
handsome.
debatable.
And this number obviously has changed a lot since just last week. We're now at $25,300.
Quite a bit.
You know.
Yep. Doing awesome.
And then who else do we have here? There's Gan the Impaler, also raising a ton of money. Great to see. I think that's all I have in this. But
yeah,
again,
I think he's all we have.
Yeah, but again, really cool group of people. I think it's great that you have sort of found people with the same sort of ethos, the same kind of, the same drive to raise money for St. Jude. Again, that's absolutely. Oh boy, Del Kenobi coming in with that $150 donation, pushing us over $9,000.
Oh my God.
Towards the RSI Polaris Corvette that we will give away on April 30th. You guys don't want to miss that episode. Del Kenobi, you're getting the double salute for that. Coming out, kicking doors down, essentially, is what Del Kenobi's doing. Also, big thanks to our other donators tonight, to Ruin and Eagle. But you guys have really pushed it. We're now officially past $9,000. Everybody, give yourself some salutes and chat. We can, we can set the new milestone. We got to get on that. Ender will do that.
I'm on it.
Which is perfect interlude for me to start talking about. Let me let's do our first giveaway, shall we? Actually, I just closed the main thing I needed, which like an idiot, but that's okay, everyone. Let me just bring that back over here and pop the window up. All right, so here's how we're going to do it. We are going to use Comment Shark to pull a random comment from the YouTube video. So if you do want to get a chance to win a custom Starjump Fleet Viewer skin or livery, whatever you want to call it, now is your chance. You need to get your comment in while I'm pulling the link now, because we're going to give our first one away now. Okay, this is going to be on YouTube. Our next one we'll give away towards the end of the show will be for the stream elements that's going on Twitch. Okay, so let me grab the link. Let me grab the link, everyone. You have probably about another 20, 30 seconds here to get that comment in if you want. Pasting the comment into Comment Shark. Again, what Comment Shark is going to do is it's going to pull it's going to pick a random comment. And since I only opened up comments on this video when we went live, those are the only comments that it is going to pull from, are the ones that came up while we were live. Okay. It's going to pull one person. It's going to be whatever comment it is. It doesn't need to be a positive post. It doesn't, or a positive comment, or just a neutral one, but no trolly stuff, please. Cause this is our charity video. But again, by the way, everyone, you see over there in the upper right hand corner, the new goal is $10,000. Big thanks to Del Kenobi and Ruin Star Shifter and Eagle. You have made tonight already worth it, guys. You have really made tonight worth it by pushing us over that $9,000 mark. So, all right. Hopefully you got your comments in. I looked over at the link. We definitely had some comments posted here. So we're going to pick a random comment now. Good luck to all of you that that put a comment over on that video. Please share that video with your communities and other people that you think might be in the giving mood to give towards St. Jude and these sick children. We really appreciate it. That video has all the information and has the donate link down in the more info section. So here we go, everybody. We're picking a random comment. You do need to get in contact with me if you're the winner, okay? You're going to need to friend me on Discord and then send me a DM on Discord, and then I'll get all the information for your ship. I will go ahead and warn you, and this is for all the Fleet Viewers custom livery wins over the course of May as well. I will not get these in instantly. I probably will work on them through Invictus, and then whenever we do our Invictus update to Fleet Viewer, which usually has me, Starlet, and VMXEO pushing ships to whatever the new ships are to Fleet Viewer, is when I will also send Starlet, who is in chat. Starlet, hello. Everyone give Starlet an 07. That's when I'll also push whoever has won ship liveries to her so she can do that integration, okay? So there will be a little bit of time that those have to be worked on. So just FYI. Here we go. Picking a random YouTube comment now. Good luck, everybody. Hope you win. The shark is hunting, and it's chosen Richard Marshall 9372 with the comment support St. Jude. I couldn't agree more, Ender. I think you would be in agreement on that one. Richard Marshall, if you're in chat, hopefully you are. If you are in chat, you're going to want to reach out to me via DM, via what is that software called? Discord. There we go. You're going to want to reach out to me and we will get you squared away. So send me a DM. You can, and again, we'll get all that worked out. So awesome. For those of you on Twitch, again, if you want to get an opportunity to win a Fleet Viewer livery there, you just need to do exclamation ticket or exclamation ticket, then a space, max, and that will get you your ticket for that, and we'll do a giveaway, and we'll choose a winner from there using Stream Elements, and we also may do a Stream Racers third giveaway for a custom livery. We haven't done custom liveries for a while, so this is kind of fun. It's going to be fun.
Yep.
Okay.
In about a year.
It's been about a year. That's true. Okay, so we're going to we're gonna take a quick break from St. Jude talk for a minute. We're gonna talk some game stuff for a minute. There was actually, you know what? I need to bring it up because I don't even know what I'm doing here. There was a new game released just this past what was it, yesterday? Or was it the day before yesterday? I can't remember. But it was
or
maybe day before.
Yeah, day before.
But it was the Elder Scrolls 4 Oblivion remaster. Obviously, for those of you that didn't watch my stream the other day, you will know that this is a game near and dear to my heart. It's really the game that got me into RPGs, really. I mean, I played some here and there, but the first big open world and Western style RPG, this was the game that did it for me. Yes, I know Morrowind existed before this, but this was really the one that did it for me.
Yeah, but this, you hadn't played, even I hadn't played Morrowind.
Yeah, I hadn't played it at that point.
Played a lot of very similar games.
Yeah. I played Morrowind later, and I liked it, and I totally see why people love it. It's actually a really good exploration game too. Morrowind is awesome. the fact that I like Oblivion better, it isn't anything to do with Oblivion being better or Morrowind being better. It was just
No.
Oblivion was the first one I played, so it was the one that just
Okay.
grabbed me. It's as simple as that.
Yep.
But it just dropped the remaster, done in Unreal 5, and I don't know what else anyone else think, or what else anyone else. I can't talk. What else everybody is thinks. I can't talk. Where's my medication? There needs to be something
You
here.
need to take it.
Anyway, here they are. Some Luden's cough drops. We'll take those. But
Here it
anyways,
is.
I love it. I think they did an excellent job on the remaster. What do you think?
Phenomenal. Phenomenal. I mean, uh,
It
it started. I heard the king start speaking, and I
Mhm.
was like, "Oh, I'm back into this game again." And this is the game that I remember playing. I
Yeah,
remember talking to you for hours while we walked from one town to another and did missions and killed things and explored
yeah,
and just chit chatted.
yeah.
Um,
It
and found stuff. And we're like, "Did you find this?" And you were like, "No, I didn't find that. Where's it at?" And I would tell
yeah,
you, and you'd be like, "I'm on my way." You know?
yeah. It's and I'm sorry if I get the wrong name here wrong. Fluox. Hopefully, I'm saying that right. He says here, yes, it's amazing. Still has that good old Bethesda jank, and I love it. And I
Mhm.
think that's the part of what I love about the remaster. It
Yeah,
obviously looks
I
better,
think that's part of its charm.
and yeah, and there's definitely some systems that have been improved for sure, but it still feels like Oblivion when you're playing it. It still has the same vibe. The few like little weird things sometimes the NPCs would do, so it still has a lot of that. It just kind of looks better, and some of the systems are are smoother. But I gotta tell you, when that opening played and we heard Patrick Stewart's voice again, I
Oh,
was like, "Oh
man.
my god, this takes me back, dude!" It was like, and I was telling you when you were streaming it because you were doing a playthrough
Yep.
of it, I was like, "Man, even these sound effects like bring back memories." You know what I mean?
Uh, I saw an imp and fired an arrow at it, and it did that little "foo foo foo"
Yeah,
sound, and I was like, "Oh my god,
yeah. It's
this
just,
is this is it." And firing a fireball, and it's just whoosh, phew, and
yeah,
it's like, man, it's terrible and great at the same time. It's so old in the sounds,
yeah.
but it's so good. You know what I mean? It's nostalgic, and I
It
love that.
it
I love that
is.
so much.
It just still it gets that undefinable magic quality. I am really excited to talk to my friend Rick, who's the lead CG. He's the director of CG at Bethesda. And while Virtuoso Studios are the ones that worked on this remaster, I'm sure he had some sort of oversight on it, as he does with
Mhm.
pretty much any Bethesda property. But I'm really excited to talk to him about this remaster because again, it was just so near and dear to me. And honestly, when Oblivion was out, was when me and him were pretty like we talked all the time. So
Real
I'm really
close.
yeah, we're
Yeah.
really
Yeah.
excited to hear about that. And he actually did not work on Oblivion. He at that time he was working at Blue Sky. He was in the movie industry,
Yep.
but I'm sure he oversaw this. I'd be kind of curious to see what it was like for him overseeing a remaster of an Elder Scrolls game that he didn't work on. You know what I mean? Because he worked on everything from Skyrim and forward. So Skyrim,
Yep.
Fallout 4, Fallout, all that stuff. So anyway, that being said, Elder Scrolls Oblivion. If you were on the fence about getting it or thinking about
You
looking
gotta
into
do it.
it, I would recommend. I'm having a
Do it.
blast. If you've never played Oblivion, which I saw Captain Richard streaming the other day, he had never
Yeah.
played it. He was a big Skyrim player, but missed out on Oblivion. So he was doing
Yeah.
his first playthrough. And I got to tell you, it was cool watching someone play through it with that
For the
first fresh
Yep.
impression. Yeah, and he
Um,
loved it. I mean, he was loving it. So that was again really really cool to see.
I'm thinking of having because Drizaloth has to stream,
Yeah,
and I'm thinking of having her stream playing Oblivion for the
yeah,
first time.
yeah.
Never played. Well, she played the original, but she was like, "I can't do this. It's just so old and jank, and I can't play old games." So I'm thinking of having her stream playing Oblivion for the
Ah,
first time.
that'd be interesting. That would be
And I,
interesting.
I think she would enjoy that
Yeah.
quite a bit.
Hey, Victor. I hope you're well. Again, everyone in chat, I have been following along with y'all's discussion. Really appreciate you all hanging out tonight. And I
Thank
know this is a very different kind of stream. We're not talking about Star Citizen, although we are going to talk a little bit about Star Citizen in a short bit. There's a topic I want to talk about. This is a stream. This is a Guardian
you.
stream. You'll notice in the title of this stream, it's Starjump Guardians. This is all about the charity endeavor. I wanted to shine a light on Starjump Ender and his incredibly hard work over the last few years raising money for these sick kids. The fact that you all are hanging out and watching us talk about this when you probably just want to veg out to some video game streaming or something like that speaks volumes about all of you. We really
Seriously.
appreciate it. Huge shout out to our donators tonight. Eagle0013 with that $15 donation. Ruin Star Shifter with another $15 donation. Remember, everybody, whether it's $5, $10, $500, every dollar matters when it comes to these sick kids. And then, of course, Del Kenobi with that $150 donation, bringing us over the $9,000 milestone and setting our compass towards the $10,000 goal.
Matter of
Yeah,
fact, I would like to share a quote from
please do.
Danny Thomas.
Please do.
It's my favorite quote from him, and it's probably the most important quote Danny Thomas ever gave, and
Mm-hmm.
he had a lot of really good ones. I'll be honest, he said a lot of really cool stuff, including well, we'll get into some of the stuff he said, but to me, his most important quote, the best one he ever said was, "I'd rather have a million people give me $1 than one give me a million.
Mm.
That way, you've got a million people involved."
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Um, his ideal wasn't that you go for the most money. It was you go to get the most people involved. The picture that you're showing is actually perfect. So I'll lead us into the next question because I know what you're going to ask.
Yep.
Graham's going to ask what the St. Jude Summit is.
Yep. Yeah. Let's talk a
Um,
little bit about that. Obviously, maybe give people an understanding of what the summit is, and then we'll go into specifically like what stood out there and all
yep.
that kind of good stuff.
So the St. Jude Summit has been going on for, oh God, I don't know how many years.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but it is a summit. It's basically a way for the St. Jude team
Thank you,
to
Eskimonian. Take it easy, bud.
say thank you to thank you, Eskimonian. Say thank you to us, the creators, the content creators
Mm-hmm.
who take the time during April and May to raise money for St. Jude. And they don't just do it for the big content creators, they invite a wide range of content creators
Mm-hmm.
um, because they are very specific about what they say to all of us. You are all important, every one of you. If we could invite everyone who raised money, we absolutely would. Unfortunately, we can't invite everyone. Um, they want to, but they can't.
Right.
But it's their way of not only saying thank you to us, but bringing us to the campus, showing us what the money we help raise does, and showing us what they're doing with that money, and their plans with that money, and how they spend that money. Um, Showing us that it's actually doing stuff. Um, they show us, they introduce us to the families, these kids who have fought cancer and survived, and not just the kids. The lady that did our tour, um, for St. Jude, the people that you saw around Danny Thomas in the previous pictures, we go on a tour of the campus
Mm-hmm.
on our second day, and they show us around. They take us through, and they take us specifically to that location, and we go to Danny Thomas's statue, his bust.
See
And
that here?
yep, we take pictures around that. Now, above us, this one's kind of a higher shot, oddly enough, but you see they're touching his nose. His nose is clean. And it's very, very shiny because we rub his nose for luck, and everyone rubs his nose for luck.
That's funny.
And that actually started based off of a whole thing. Somebody rubbed his nose and actually got lucky. Like something happened. I can't remember what. They won something. That
Yeah.
is the prayer area. That specific piece of art, the sun actually shines through that and shines on the ground, and the art on the ground moves in a specific pattern and then moves up to the door
Oh, that's wild.
and points to the statue of St. Jude.
Very cool. Tell us a little bit about
through
these
the door.
quotes that are above the arches.
These are Danny Thomas quotes.
Mm-hmm.
Danny Thomas said these. So Danny Thomas is Elsac is he's Lebanese. Okay, so Elsac is one thing that he was very proud of was his Lebanese heritage.
Mm-hmm.
So one thing he never wanted anyone to do was to deny their heritage.
Mm-hmm.
So he who denies his heritage has no heritage, because that was important to him. Those who work for the good are as those who do the good. So he was saying that the people who work there at St. Jude are the same as the people who are, the doctors that are doing the good to help cure the cancer are the same as the people who are cleaning that place, are the same as the people who are, cooking. All of them are just as important in his eyes. And my favorite one from him that was in here, no child should die in the dawn of life, which is where sorry, I'm going to get emotional here, where his idea for St. Jude came from. Reading Fox's.
Yeah. And we can see here a bunch
it's
of
hard for kids.
Yeah, a bunch of pictures of the different groups around the statue or the bust,
Yes.
and all kind of interacting with the nose. It's pretty funny.
We all rub the nose. All of us do.
Yeah.
Above that, what you can't see, and I think there's one picture that might show it. What you can't see is there are flags in that area.
There we go.
Every flag from every country for every worker in the place is hung in that area. So if there's a country, if there's a country missing, that means that they don't work there, right? And if a person comes from a country that is not hung in that area, someone goes out of their way to get that flag and hang it in that area. And it will get hung up there. They are very specific for that, and they are awesome for doing stuff like that.
Yeah. Very cool.
That particular group was the best group out of all of them.
And a good turnout. Quite a few people, actually.
Yeah, we had 220 total people at the summit this year.
Amazing. Yeah.
Which is a great turnout. Grim, there's a picture that I sent you of some people outside in front of a door, I believe.
Let's see here. Outside in front of a door. Is it a glass door? No, that's you guys.
Hold on, let me see.
If you have the file number or the file name number,
Yes,
then I'll
have the file name in just a moment. Hold tight. Sorry, guys. Sorry. I think I sent it to you. Where's it at? Yeah, I changed the name, so it's missing. It'll be a DT. It'll be one of the DTs.
Let's see here. I think we went through all the DTs. I mean, they're all technically in front of a door because there's a door back there, but
DT13. DT13.
DT13. I don't have that one. I have
Interesting. You
DT
should.
DT12 and then 14.
Interesting.
No,
Here, I'm going to
13.
throw this one to you. I don't know
All
how
right.
I missed that one because I'm an idiot. I apologize. This one, I'm going to throw your way. I apologize, Green.
All right.
I knew I'd miss one. I knew I would.
Okay, there we go.
So this is actually the mausoleum where Danny Thomas and his wife. Oh God, I can't remember her name now. Somebody would have it if they were in our chat. Is interned. So Danny and his wife are in there.
And that's on the campus.
That is on the campus.
Yeah.
I did see Smashley at the summit. Yes, Flux.
And the year before, I think too. I remember.
And the year before. Yes, we spoke.
Yeah.
We spoke quite a bit.
Yeah.
She's great. She's hilarious to me. And she's in one of these pictures somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
But that's the mausoleum where Danny and his wife are interred. So yeah, that's interesting little tidbit.
Let's go through some more pictures here. What's this on the ground? This kind of plaque that's embedded in the ground here. The inspiration.
So this is out in front of one of the new research stations.
Mm-hmm.
One of the kids went to space recently.
Oh wow.
And the inspiration for everyone at the new research station was this in honor of the in honor of the children who went to the stars before their time. So the kids that were lost before they could cure cancer, and before we were able to go to space, because there were kids who wanted to. This was their inspiration, and this is why they do what they do.
Yeah,
is to honor those kids and to try to cure cancer and get rid of this.
Yeah,
once and for all.
And everyone, again, thank you for your donations tonight. Absolutely amazing. We're going to continue trucking through some of these photos here so that we can kind of live vicariously through the photos and understand what the St. Jude Play Live Creators Summit is all about. We have these letters here. I'm guessing these are letters from the kids.
So that is the wall of inspiration.
Mm-hmm.
These are written by kids, parents. This is in the prayer area. And it is kind of a way for the kids or the parents to take a moment and write what keeps them going.
Yeah.
Polo actually had a moment last year, and he and I ended up having kind of a similar moment because it was the same one. We were reading the inspiration wall, and I'm definitely going to cry on this one. We were reading the inspiration wall, and one of the letters said, "I'm inspired," and a kid in kid's handwriting said, "Because I will live."
Yeah, it's powerful stuff.
And
it really is.
That was the moment that hit me at that summit, because you go through all of that and you watch the videos that they've made, and they don't hit you quite as hard as reading a kid's handwriting that says, "I'm gonna live."
Oh yeah, for sure. For sure. Yeah, and it's cool that they have this type of stuff on display there for people to read this, but then also get inspired, right? Because again, this type of stuff, when you're walking around on the campus there, the creators that go, content creators, streamers, whatever, that go, they get inspired to push bigger and bigger campaigns, because going back to St. Jude, sort of like the one of the big benefits to the St. Jude Hospital is that they don't pay a dime when they go there as
Yep.
patients. The kids there, there's no, they don't have to pay any money to be there. So that kind of, these things do cost money though, and that kind of funding comes through these
Yep.
donations. That's why we push it so
Yes, they
hard
do.
during April and May. That's why other content creators push it very hard, especially in May during the Play Live. In May is kind of the main month, right? And then April's like a prologue month to it,
Yes,
or
the April's kind of the prologue month. Some people will push through April a little bit and then heavy push through May.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Um, yeah.
So,
And the cool thing about that we learned this year
mhm,
about St. Jude is that it's not just about no. So the in remission note is one that I saw this year. I took that picture this year.
yeah,
And I don't know who it's from. That it didn't have a name on it. But the cool thing that we learned this year is that it's not just about curing these kids.
yeah,
It's about helping these kids thrive after they're cured. It's
yeah,
about transitioning them from St. Jude back to normalcy,
yeah.
getting them ready to go back home or whatever home is. Some parents don't even go back to where they were
Hmm.
because a lot of times they've moved to St. Jude.
Right.
So they go to a whole new place. They're like, look, we want a fresh start. We're going somewhere new.
Yeah.
So they're getting these kids ready for a new school, and they prep these kids to understand what the new normal is. They ready them for that through a
Hmm.
program called TOPS, and that was actually born not originally, but of a literal statement of, hey, you've got unlimited funding. What do you need?
Hmm.
And a doctor went, uh, we need a way to transition children from the hospital back to life.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
we
Yeah.
need a way to make it work for them so
Hmm.
that they understand and so that they can thrive. And they
Hmm.
went, done. Take this bundle of money and make it happen.
Yeah.
So that was really big to see, and that was really good to see
Yeah.
and to learn.
Um, for the sake of time here, I want to ask
Yeah.
what's a moment that stood out from the event to you that you think you'll carry on, and will help push you. Not that you need this push, but to kind of help inspire and push you to do the next big St. Jude charity push next year. Like, what is that thing from Play Live that you will carry forward?
Cody.
Mm-hmm.
Cody is the moment.
Mm-hmm.
And Henry to a point, Enrique to a point. He was a former military guy that his daughter was in there. We met him on the first day. He
Mm-hmm.
works for St. Jude. Amazing guy. I shared his son's Twitch stream on our stuff a few days ago.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and yep, there's my stupid face.
Why in a lot of
Uh,
these pictures do you look like we need like the
I
Mount Wilson Observatory to
I
zoom in
needed
on?
help in that one. I was underneath a lot of people. We were piled into a very small area, and I was not comfortable. Um, but
That's good.
and that would have been the moment, honestly, if you would have asked me before Thursday, which
Thanks,
was the last
Starshifter.
day of the
Take it easy.
summit. The last day of the summit, we were doing a lunch, and
Mm-hmm.
a lady was there that was trying to get some stuff from us, some information about how can we do teaching and how can we integrate Roblox and blah 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 blah.
Mm-hmm.
And she was hanging out with us all day.
Mm-hmm.
And I wish I had a picture of her. I wish I had a picture of Cody. I really do. Um, but she was hanging out with us the whole time. And out of the blue, she goes, "So I wasn't going to say anything." And when you hear that from somebody who works for St. Jude, you
Mm-hmm.
kind of pipe up. You kind of pay attention,
Sure.
okay? Because You don't hear that a lot.
Yeah.
And she said, "So I'm not just a worker. I'm up in the top left corner.
Yeah. You are
Um, I'm,
right up here. We just do another
uh-huh.
zoom in here.
I'm not just a
You're obviously
uh,
airing out your armpits here. This is what this
yes,
pose was all
trying to
about.
do a heart.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, I'm not just a St. Jude worker. I'm also a St. Jude parent.
Mm-hmm.
And I wasn't going to do this, but I did want to say thank you to all of you."
Mm-hmm.
Um, and I said, "Okay, why?" She said, "Well, my son Cody was born, and at 1 month old, he was diagnosed with leukemia.
Mm-hmm.
And if it weren't for people like you, I wouldn't have gotten the additional 10 months that I got with him. Cody
Mm-hmm.
died at 11 months old, but I don't look at that as Cody died young at 11 months old. I look at it as I got 10 amazing months with my child that I wouldn't have gotten.
Yeah.
So thank you for doing this. Thank you for what you did." And that immediately tears all around the table, hugs, everything.
Yeah.
But that immediately struck me, um, just as kind of that moment, because we have somebody from St. Jude who is thanking us for streaming, um, our stupid faces so that we can raise a little bit of money for St. Jude,
Yeah.
um, just so she could have that little bit of extra time.
Yeah.
But
Absolutely.
she was grateful for that time. And, putting myself in her shoes, I gotta be honest, I would be grateful for that time too.
Well,
Um,
and that's what these donations and this charity push is all for. It's not always, hopefully you save as many as you can, but then
yep,
some of them it's buying time. You know what I mean? In a way, through
yep,
medical treatments and the proper care that St. Jude can provide, and that's what these donations do. Is they a lot of times they can buy time, and when you're a parent of a child going through that, um, a second is worth everything, right? An extra
yep,
second. So that's the way I like to think of it. Is and I come from a family with a lot of people that have had cancer, including some kids in our family. My cousin Jamie had very severe brain tumor at I think it was 8 years old, and just an extra week, an extra month, an extra year can mean the world of difference. And that's what these endeavors are for. That's why there are things like St. Jude Play Live. That's why there are these initiatives, not here just at Starjump, but at other groups. You know what I mean? Um, to do something that can give back and make a difference. You know what I mean? And I think
and
that's yeah,
that's why I picked it, and that's why it's always gonna be St. Jude for me.
Thank
It's
yeah.
you.
Victoria donating
I'm
$25 to help unlock 1 day. What is that? 1 day of meals for a patient. Victoria,
yep,
always a big supporter. Thank you, Victoria. I'm
thank
giving
you.
you the double salute there, along with Eagle, Ruin Star Shifter, and of course, Dell Kenobi for your donations today, everyone. Absolutely amazing. You've all pushed us over the $9,000 milestone today, getting us on our first steps towards the $10,000 goal.
Oh,
And
gosh. That
that's an, yeah,
9,000 is a rough one, by the
yeah.
way. That milestone means that at the end of all of this, I have to take every bean,
Yeah,
every one of these,
yeah,
every bean boozle, all the Lester's fixins,
yeah.
put them all in a blender,
Hmm.
blend it all up until it's
Oh
some
my,
kind of a
oh
sludge,
my God, that's gonna be so bad. It's
and
gonna be
then
bad.
I have to gullet that somehow.
It's gonna be bad. Starlet just gave her endorsement with you.
Yeah,
Appreciate. I
I
love it.
agree,
I
Starlet.
love it.
I
I
agree
love it.
wholeheartedly, but I did this to myself. It's for
Yeah.
the kids.
Um. Last
It's
question,
for the
Ender.
kids.
Last
Yeah.
question for you in regards to St. Jude and Play Live. And then we're going to go into a brief bit of Star Citizen talk, everyone, and then do
Yes.
a couple more giveaways. But real quick here, Where do you see Starjump Enders efforts, but also Starjump as a whole? Where do you see our charity initiatives going in the future? Um, I know there's a charity I'm interested in doing something to. It'd be smaller than our St. Jude initiative. Maybe it's just a little
Mhm.
2 week charity drive. But where do you see the future of charity work and stuff to give back to others? Where do you see that within Starjump in the future?
I have an area for Starjump charity suggestions.
Mm-hmm.
People like Graybeard have suggested a couple in the past, and we have done fundraisers
Mm-hmm.
for things like the Salvation Army.
Yep.
Um, we have done fundraisers for um, Grim had, well, Grim, you had a family member who
Did yep.
was in pretty dire straits,
Yep.
and
Yep.
you didn't ask for it, but I
People came through. Yeah.
wanted to
Yep. And you
um,
got it
do
started. Yep.
for and you had a link, thankfully, that was helpful for that.
Yep.
Um,
Yep.
and I want to continue doing things like that. St. Jude is always going to be near and dear to my heart, but that is 2 months, and that is, you know, not the whole year. And if
Mm-hmm.
anybody has anything that they have that they want to go for, to want to push for, Grim, you've got
Mm-hmm.
something you want 2 weeks of,
I do have something I'm
let
looking
me know.
into. Yeah.
Let's
Um,
do it,
yeah, and again, we do the
because that's
initiative.
what we're about.
Yeah,
That's what Guardians is for, and that's what I want to use it for, is to put as much good back in the world
yeah,
as we can.
and that I think is what, again, when people wonder, going and I always like to bring conversations full circle. But going back to that very first question I asked when we had this up when we started streaming today, what is Starjump and who are the people in it? This should explain everything you need to know about Ender's role within this group. He is the person that leads the most important work within the group, the charity endeavors, the giving back to people, and keeping our community intact, which is, again, super, super important. So, Ender, you know what I'm going to do here, bud? I'm going to pull up that emote, pulling out the double salute
I have got
emote.
before my beard is gone, because
Yeah,
it's looking like we're getting real damn close to that
yeah,
happening soon.
yeah.
I've got to get that emote to you soon.
We're
I'm going
just
to
gonna
take those
let yeah
pictures
we're
tomorrow.
gonna let the 007 roll here for a minute, buddy. Thank you for all your hard work towards St. Jude,
It's
towards charity raising,
genuinely my
to
pleasure.
propping up Star Jump and putting um, attaching Star Jump's name to such noble causes. I think is really amazing. So appreciate
Thank
that.
you.
Let's see. Rycon03 donated $10 to unlock a new toy for St. Jude. Rycon, thank you very much. Salute
Thank you,
to you.
Rycon.
Appreciate that money coming in, everybody. $9,042 today, everyone. $9,042. I want everyone to think about that right now. We've only been doing this campaign for 24 days, and we've raised $9,042. Absolutely amazing.
So far this year, in these 24 days, St. Jude in total has raised $197,000.
Yep. Amazing. Amazing.
Pink Hat Squad is at 11,000. We're almost at 12. Pink
Yep.
Hat Squad, 11,924.
Amazing work.
56 cents.
Everyone, what do you say we give away another
Do it.
Fleet Viewer custom Starjump Fleet Viewer livery? This one is going to be through the stream elements. If you haven't bought your tickets already, please do so now. Because we're going to be ending this very, very shortly. All you need to do is exclamation ticket or exclamation ticket space max, and that will buy your tickets. You got about 30 seconds to get your tickets in. As you see, we've only got 15 entrants now, so you have a really great chance of winning. You will get to choose the ship. You will get to choose the colors. You will get to choose if a logo is on it and send me the logo. You'll get to name the ship, again, as long as it's work safe, and I will work on those ships during the Invictus push later later in May, and those will be integrated into Fleet Viewer at the end of Invictus sometime. So big shout out to Starjump Starlet. I know she's in chat. She'll be helping me integrate these into Fleet Viewer. But go ahead and get your tickets in, everyone. You got about 10 more seconds. Exclamation ticket or exclamation ticket space max. All right. Going to close it in 3, 2, and 1. We're closing the giveaway, everybody. Giveaway has been closed. 17 entrants, 161 tickets purchased. Good luck. If you win, I will DM you through Twitch, or I'll send you a whisper through Twitch, and we'll set up that initial information. Okay, just remember, everyone, I will not get to working on these till Invictus. Okay, so there's gonna be a little bit of a lag there. Looks like we got a $15 donation by Vasily, or Vasi, sorry, Vasi, I read that wrong, towards the Misc Fortune. Thank you very much, Vasi. Appreciate it. Salute to you. Here we go, everybody. We're going to draw a winner in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good luck. Oh, it's the person that's been talking a lot. It's, how do I pronounce this? I need to know how to pronounce this. Fluox. Is it Fluox?
Am I saying it right?
Hopefully we got it right. Hopefully we got it right.
Fluoxx.
Yeah. Very cool.
Yeah.
Very cool. Fluox, I did send you a whisper on Twitch just to start the initial contact, but I'll probably get the information from you in a day or two for the ship, so you have some time to think it over, but you will get a custom ship in Starjump Fleet Viewer at starjumpfleetviewer.com. Really, really cool. Hope you enjoy that. Hope that is something you like. If you do not play Star Citizen, for some reason, if that is not your jam and you don't really care about that prize, you can also tell me that via whisper, and I will come up with a different sort of prize for you. I have a few other little things we could choose from if a custom ship livery and Fleet Viewer is not your bag, which is totally okay if it's not. All right, everybody, I'm going to switch over. We're going to do one more thing here. We're going to do one more thing. I think that's going to be a lot of fun. It's going to be the race, everybody. You know we're going to do it. We know we're going to do it. Let me start her up here. We have done this in the past. Unfortunately, this only applies to Twitch viewers. So you, my YouTube viewers, you know I love you very much, and I appreciate you watching on YouTube. Unfortunately, I can only tie this into the Twitch platform because of the way it's built, so really apologize about that. But I think you all will enjoy this over on the Twitch side. And if you're over on YouTube, just head over to Twitch real quick and let's you can get in on it there. It's real easy to get in on. All you have to do, let me switch over to the screen here. Bear with me, everybody. Switching over, and let me get off my left monitor and onto my main monitor. Nope, that's not it. And there it is. Okay, everybody. If you we're gonna do a Stream Racers game really quick. If you win, whoever the winner is here will get a custom Fleet Viewer livery or custom ship livery in StarjumpFleetViewer.com. So if you want to get in on it, just do exclamation race. Sorry, my YouTube viewers, it only works with Twitch. Apologies about that. But if you're over on YouTube, by the way, what is it? Richard Marshall 9372. Make sure you contact me via DM on Discord, and I'll get you squared away for your Fleet Viewership. Everyone, if you want to race, go ahead and get yourself in there. Looks like we got 12 players racing tonight so far. We're going to have a few more join. Just do exclamation race, and you can get on this. You don't have to do anything. It's an automatic game. The cars just sort of drive themselves. I do think you can boost, right? Is it exclamation boost that does the boost? You can do exclamation boost to give your car a little bit of a charge, but ultimately, we got another donation. Tibbles donated $30 towards a Misc Fortune with Sunspot and LTI. Thank you very much, Tibbles. You're amazing. Appreciate that. Giving you the salute. We've raised quite a bit of money tonight, everyone. Quite a bit of money. A little bit over $200, which is absolutely incredible. Awesome. Especially for a stream that wasn't focused on gaming. You know what I mean? It was focused on something else.
My stupid face.
I'm going to give everyone just a minute to get in on this race, but one other gaming-related thing I did want to bring up real quick. We talked about Oblivion. I said I would do 2 gaming-related talks during this. Here's the question I want to ask everybody. Who all think, and you know what? I'm going to start a poll. I'm going to start a poll for this because it's probably what I need to do. I'm going to start a poll on YouTube and on Twitch for this. So let's see here. 1 second. Go ahead and join the race, exclamation race if you can.
Sorry, everyone. I'm eating dinner finally.
Ender is eating dinner, everybody. It had to happen sometime. Okay, I'm just getting the polls ready here, everybody. Stand by. I'm just kind of curious what people think, so this will be kind of a quick one. The question is, will the Aegis Idris release during Invictus? There's been a lot of rumors surrounding possibly it being released to the backers, primarily because there's been a lot of leaks surrounding the Idris and new quality of life improvements made to the Idris, door control panels and insurance claim times and all that stuff been added to the game. While that really doesn't mean anything, the ship it can probably still come out when Squadron 42 releases next year sometime, as CIG has said. Some people have really thought that the ship may release early. I'm kind of split on it. I don't hold out much hope that it will be. Personally, I would like them to hold on to it and keep working on it and polishing it and getting it ready and possibly integrating that new exterior. But what do you all think? Go ahead and get in on that poll. I would love to see what people think on that. Because that will tie into a future conversation that we will do on Starjump Station. Okay. Okay. So looks like people are genuinely saying no. Am I right on that? It looks like no. We got 7 votes for no on Twitch and 0 on yes. I think that's pretty. In the bag. Okay. You all may have convinced me. Yeah. All right, everybody, we're about to do this. Let's swing over, get my things right. Okay, we have 14 players in the race. Good luck, everyone. The winner of this, I will whisper you, and you will win a custom ship skin for StarjumpFleetViewer.com. Good luck, everyone. Awesome. This is usually a oh, you know what? I need to get on this. If I win, it just goes to the second place person, by the way. But I like to be in there just because I want to race with y'all. All right. Here we go, everyone. Going to start the race. Again, if I win, it will go to the second place winner or whoever came in second place. Yep. All right, race starts in 12 seconds. Good luck, everyone. This is a lot of fun. I'll try to move the camera around as best as I can. The controls are pretty wonky. Here we go. There's all the racers. Good luck, everybody. They're off. Starjump Grim coming out to an early second place non-lead. Quiet Chaos currently in the lead. Pulling ahead, too, as everyone goes up the really big... how do I raise my camera? Okay, there we go, everyone. Sorry. Oh, man. Someone flew off the map. I don't know what happened there. Yep, here we go. They're going around the mountain. Who is currently in the lead? It does look like Fledger is currently in the lead with Fluox right behind him, Sandgroper, Quiet Chaos, and Victura bringing up the first pack. Good luck, all of you. Fluox, if you win again, it will go whoever is second place because you've already won one, my friend. So good luck. Fledger's currently in the lead. This leading pack here is in a good position. Citizen Ninja pulling out the very far rear. Victura has fallen off, unfortunately. And there goes Fluox off the track. Fluox's hopes and dreams are now gone. Fledger just got stopped by the rolling wall. Sorry about that, Fledger. Quiet Chaos taking a mid-range lead here with Sandgroper's pulled ahead. Do those exclamation boosts, everybody. That will get you a little bit ahead. Quiet Chaos really putting the pedal to the metal here, putting some distance between them and the rest of the pack here. Sandgroper hungry. Oh, no, Quiet Chaos crashed. Quiet Chaos crashed. Sandgroper has pulled away, has pulled ahead. What a disappointing turn there for Quiet Chaos. I know he'll be crying about that one. The camera has just been hit on the track and knocked over. They're passing the Mona Lisa, coming up to another ramp. And there goes Sandgroper. Perfect form. landing on his backside. Yep, quite a tumble there. Up, Sandgroper got back, recovered. Now Mootkins is in second place. So far, so good here. Mootkins looks like he's possibly close. Oh, and he just boosted right into the wall. You get a little bit overzealous there. Sandgroper is going towards that finish line in the distance. Here he goes. It looks like it's going to be Sandgroper. Sandgroper for that win. There it is. There it up. And Mootkins. It does look like Sandgroper is our winner of the custom Fleet Viewer skin. Very nice, Sandgroper. Congratulations. Here comes Starjump Grim, the sexiest racer of the evening. Ender, did you get in on this race?
I did not.
What a
I was so
terrible.
focused on food
Yeah.
that I forgot to get in on that one.
I understand. There we go. Paglamia, VG coming across. There's Fluox finally getting there, along with Dragon Skull and Citizen Ninja, and Victura pulling up. Well, not the last. There goes Victura. Great form on that jump. Here comes our final three racers. It's going to be Lone Soldier pulling up the third from last, but looking good. Great form and cleared the obstacle. And our final two racers are really struggling back there in the back. Del Kenobi with his massive donation tonight of $150, which was incredible. Del Kenobi, you don't deserve to be in last place, my friend. There's Christian.
You read my mind on that one.
Yeah, that's my future in esports. Yeah, I can't think that quick. There it is, everybody. Sandgroper, I will get in contact with you via Twitch DM. Everyone, congratulations. That was a lot of fun. Those of you that won custom custom skins and Starjump Fleet Viewer, just to reiterate, I will work on those during the Invictus ship push that me and VMXEO do. And then after Invictus, I will push those ships to Starjump Starlet, who is in chat, and she will integrate them into Fleet Viewer. So please be patient. They will eventually come. When they do come, I will notify you that they are, set to release or whatever. So again, congratulations, everyone. I'm going to send you, Sandgroper, just a whisper real quick, just saying, hey, I sent both you and Fluox that. Again, I will get the information with you and talk to you all more probably tomorrow. Give me a little time because when this stream's over, I do have to go run and do something. It's been a great stream. It's been fun to talk about this really important cause, something that I know myself and Ender, it means a lot to us. Obviously, this has been Ender's baby for quite some time, and I'm really proud of the work he has done. Ender, do we have anyone special we're trying to raid tonight? I think I forgot to ask you that. I can't remember. Let's take a look.
Tight.
And we had a good crowd tonight for a non-gaming show, so I'm really appreciative for all of you hanging out during a show that was not gaming focused. We're talking about charity stuff. That can be sometimes hard in the streaming world. So thank you all very much for hanging out. We appreciate that. Let's see here. Who are we rating? So let's look at the list here.
Let's see.
And if you don't have anyone, I could send us somewhere.
Yeah.
Could send people to Death.
Death is streaming. Yeah, let's send him to Death. Let him enjoy some people.
Everyone, you saw him in some of the pictures that we showed tonight. We're going to send you over to Death and Rebirth. Yeah. So I'm going to go ahead and prep that raid right there. If you wouldn't mind hanging on, everyone, if you watch, just hang on for a minute and wait to go to his channel and give him a little bit of that Starjump love. Again, he's doing a lot of stuff for charity as well. So we're going to go ahead and start the raid. Everyone, have a wonderful weekend. You will see more of me, by the way. So hang in there, and we'll talk to you soon. We do have that Misfortune giveaway on Saturday. Everyone, have a